Good evening, everybody. I can see that you're all out there by the chat. Thank you for waiting, and welcome to our evening of choral music. It's a delightful to see you all. I woke up this morning, and by the way, if you don't know me, I'm James John. I'm Director of Choral Activities here at the Aaron Copland School of Music, and I'm glad you've discovered the chat. It's great to see you all out there. There we are, Jin Byun, Liz Hastings. I saw Mike Lipsy's here. Thank you for coming. I've got to mute myself. I'm running the live feed here, and I was hearing myself twice, 20 seconds delayed. So you'll hear that in 20 seconds. So it's great to see you all. And I woke up this morning, and the first thing that popped through my head was a line from the poet Julie Flanders. Here we are, all together. Even though we are all alone. So that to me just places all of this experience of COVID very much in perspective. So if you are attending a choral concert at Aaron Copland School of Music for the first time, we have 3 choirs performing tonight, and there's a mixture of pre-recorded and live singing. We have the Queen's College Choral Society, which is a large group of community and students, about 100 people. There's the Queen's College Vocal Ensemble, which is a chamber choir of about 22 this semester of men and women's voices. And then there is the Queen's College Treble Choir, which is also a chamber choir of treble voices. That's sopranos and altos. And that's about 22. So we're going to give you an overview of what we've been doing this semester. And of course, in the time of COVID and rehearsing on Zoom, process and product have the balance between the two has shifted to process, because we can't sing as much repertoire and sing the same way as we're used to. But it's been a huge learning experience, and we hope to share not only some of our product with you tonight, but also some of our process. So I also want to say just simply how proud I am of all the students. This has been a tremendous undertaking and learning experience, and they've done great across the board in all the ensembles. So thank you. On to our first video of the evening, and if you haven't found, you can link to a program on the live stream. There's a link to a Google Drive where you can find the program. So the first thing tonight is the Vivaldi Gloria first movement virtual choir video. And what I would like to say about this, it's the 80th anniversary of the Choral Society this year. Choral Society was founded in 1941. And the Vivaldi Gloria has a special connection to Choral Society. The founder, John Castellini, gave what is thought to be the American premiere of the work in 1949. He did research on Vivaldi in Italy and brought the manuscript back and performed it here before anyone else. So that's one of the reasons we chose to do it. Now, what else have we been doing besides Vivaldi? And we've done 2 virtual choir videos, and then the rest of the semester we have done a survey of different major works, everything from Brahms' Requiem to Ellington's Sacred Concerts, things we've performed in the past and a few new things, and we've worked on those in Zoom and sort of just done an overview of things. And then we made the Vivaldi video, and then a video at the end of the program of 1001 Voices, which we'll talk more about later. So back to the Vivaldi. So we were delighted that the vocal ensemble joined Choral Society for this video. It features alumni instrumentalists and friends with Yunju Namkung, one of our devoted adjuncts here on the keyboard. A bit of trivia that I think is interesting about the video. So you'll all notice, if you're on the faculty here, you'll notice Miriam Brown, the cellist. Her dad happens to be a trumpeter in the Hala Orchestra, and she recruited him to play together on this video. So you will see Miriam and her dad together. Enjoy. All right. Well, thank you all for your fun comments in the chat. It's really fun. It's fun to interact here online like this. My first experience doing anything like this. So also, before we move on to the next segment, I just want to do a special acknowledgement of another one of our wonderful adjunct faculty, Dong Myung An, who helped with recruiting the instrumentalists for this video you just saw. All right, so we're going to move on to the second part of the program, which is now Karen Siegel's...
I can't hear you, Jim.
You can't hear me? Oh, you're right. Okay. I forgot. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, we're having a little technical issue. So in the chat, if you can hear me, just type thumbs up. Bear with us. Yeah, if you can hear me, type something in the chat. I can hear you. Oh, good, Warren, thank you. You can hear me. All right, so we're having trouble with our guest composer. So, Karen, I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Everyone hears us, Jim.
Yes, but can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, so we're good.
You can't hear me.
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Here I am. Are you there? You can hear me? We're good? Are we good? Karen, can you hear me? I'm just not clear. Karen, I don't think you can hear
No,
me.
I'm.
I hear you fine.
I
Thank
can
you.
hear you now.
Okay, good. Can you hear me now?
There's just a weird delay.
Okay. So,
Yes, I hear you.
okay, good. So let's
We're
go
good
on.
now.
So, great. So I'm delighted to have our guest.
We're just doing a comedy routine.
Yes, exactly.
This
So
is on purpose.
on the purpose. So should I? Maybe I have a joke. Okay. So this is turned into a comedy screen. What do
Here I am, right here, ready to
Right.
go.
What do snowmen call their offspring?
Okay.
Chill.
So should I
Children.
talk about Here I Am?
Oh wait, can you hear me? This is a comedy routine.
I
think
can hear you, but no.
we have a strange delay. Could you hear all that stuff about the joke? Thank you for
Yes,
bearing with
I
us
hear
while
you
we.
now, and I have heard you.
Okay.
May I talk about Here I Am?
Yes, something is okay. Let me introduce our wonderful special guest, Karen Siegel, without whom we would not have done any of our online singing. Let's go. Okay, thank you. And Aaron Mievs. Okay, we're going on. Asa, thank you. Ha ha ha. Okay, so Asha, thank you. So Karen is known as she's a wonderful, accomplished composer. She got a PhD from the CUNY Graduate Center
Yep.
in composition. She co-founded the group, the wonderful choir Composer Conductor Collective, otherwise known as C4 in Manhattan, and she has been a pioneer with live online singing. So for everybody, I want to contrast what we're doing next on the program with what you just saw. So the Vivaldi video, of course, is a virtual choir video, and now the other thing Vocal Ensemble has been working on this fall is singing together live online. So Karen, could you tell us just a little bit about your experience with live online singing and what inspired you to write Here I Am, which you're one of the few composers I think that's writing for this genre by itself, and you're a pioneer in that area. So share with us, please. Any thoughts? Karen? Karen? Karen, let's see. Karen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Bear with us. Da 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 dum. Karen, I have to. Can you read this? Karen, if you can hear me, say hi there.
Sure. Well, I'll start by saying that C4 was really lucky that we were already with the software Jamulus before the pandemic hit. I should say, as a group, we were. Yes. I'm just gonna go forward. You can't hear me?
You're delayed
But
about.
there's just a delay, Jim.
Yeah.
There's just a delay. I
Got
think
it.
I'm gonna go on and keep talking because you can give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me. Yeah, you can. I think you can. There's
Now I lost you, Karen.
So basically, when our repertoire for things that did not require synchrony, and we found some we were able to work with, but really not very much. And I decided to write this piece, Here I Am, and as a gift to the choral community, because I thought, well, we figured out a way to do this, and I thought other choirs would also like to know that it's possible. So that's where it came is to use the latency of the internet as part of the artistic aesthetic, allowing for and actually requesting a lack of synchrony in the singers. So that's a little bit about how Here I Am came about. It's the second live remote performance since C4's premiere, the first one since the premiere. So thank you all for standing. I'm seeing some confusing things in the chat. I'm wondering, did you hear what I just said about how Here I Am came about, or did you not hear it? Now I have to wait 30 seconds to find out if you did hear.
Well, I'll fill. Karen, can you hear me? You probably will eventually. You can hear me now? Okay, good. All right. So I'm just going to say, I think we should perhaps move on to the performance of Here I Am, and then talk a little bit more afterward. One thing that I think is beautiful about Here I Am that I just want to mention is, for those of you listening, it's aleatoric largely, meaning each section sings a melodic cell that's repeated, and then those cells change. But on the page, the cells are written in little boxes. And visually on the page, to me, it represents kind of what we look like in a Zoom room. And in the Baroque period, this was called something like Augenmusik, or music for the eyes. So it's music on the page that looks visually like it sounds. And this piece does that very much if you were to see the musical score. So without further ado, let us go on to the performance of Here I Am. So I'll ask Vocal Ensemble to turn on your videos, and Karen and I will okay. And give me a second. All right. Christine Papania take a bow. Thank you so much. That was beautifully done. This is Christine. She's a first-year graduate student at ACSM in music education. Christine, I'm sorry. Is that correct? Yes. So, congrats. Thank you. You might have noticed Christine was pointing different corners of the screen. In this environment for the sopranos, we had a clockwise soprano, alto, tenor, bass had each different corner for a cue of the screen, for their different corner of the screen for their cue. So, all right. So I'm going to move on to the next segment of our program, which will be to introduce my colleague, Professor Eric Rubinstein. So, vocal ensemble, you can turn your videos. And Eric, let's see, you may go right ahead, Eric, and welcome. Thank you for being here. It's my delight. Eric is a wonderful colleague, and I'm looking forward to hearing about the Treble Choir.
Thank you very much, Jim. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I'm the technology is working in our favor. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. My name is Eric Rubinstein, and on behalf of the Queens College Treble Choir, I would like to extend our welcome to tonight's program. This semester has certainly been interesting, so I must publicly thank singers for their resilience, their flexibility, and their investment. This semester, a good one. Of course, despite some limitation, we were still able to engage in slightly ways, and we are grateful for their good work. I'm going to introduce both of our pieces, both of the pieces we studied semester. Our first piece tonight, I Am in Love by Faith Morgan, speaks of an unrequited, albeit dark, love. We actually were very fortunate to welcome Faith to one of our work too long ago, where she shared her inspiration for the piece, juxtaposing this fairly simple melody with a somewhat unconventional and fairly complex subject. Our second piece seamlessly into Hexenlied by Felix Mendelssohn. That has a more of a affect and features our wonderful collaborative pianist this semester, Stephen I. Asian for this piece is located in the program below in the description of the live stream, but the piece roughly translates to Witch's Song. It has certainly brought some levity to our semester. Again, on behalf of the thank you all so much for tuning in and joining us tonight, and we hope you enjoy.
I am in love, and I dare not own it. The very pain lies on my breast. I am in love, and the whole world knows it. That the troubled mind can know no rest. I am in love. tuschen wir, lass uns bitten und fliegen zum prächtigen Tanze. Ein Fußball, ein Riesenschlag, die aufgekommene Wolke. Reißt uns gestreht wie Blitz und Wind, durchs Tanzen der Lüfte zum Morgen. Lasst uns gestreht wie Blitz und Wind, durchs Tanzen der Lüfte zum Morgen. Und küssen die kralligen Hände. Ein Geisterschwarm fasst uns beim Arm und schwingt im Tanzen die Bände. Und wir sind wohl verwaisten Traum, denn tanzen die Damenaufgabe. Sie sollen schön in seine Liebe, Töpfe von Gottes im Grabe. Sie sollen schön in seine Liebe, Töpfe von Gottes im Grabe. Ein Feuer Dach und fliegt durchs Dach und bringt uns Butter und Eier. Die Nachbarn sehen die Funken wehen und schlagen ein Kreuz von dem Feuer. Der Schwabe fliegt, der Schwabe singt, die Blumen zum Tanzen. Und zwischen Wischen siehst das Haus, zwischen Wischen siehst das Haus, wir kreisen zum prächtigen Tanze. Und zwischen wir, lass uns den Tür, und zwischen wir, lass uns den Tür, wir kreisen zum prächtigen Tanze. Wir kreisen, wir kreisen zum prächtigen Tanze.
Well, hearty congratulations, Treble Choir. That was great. I know you're out there, or most of you are. That was fabulous, really, and wonderful work, Eric. Congratulations. So on to the next segment of our program, which is the world premiere of Karen Siegel's piece, Meditation. Before we do that, I just wanted to invite Giselle Castillo. She's a senior here in music education at the Aaron Copland School of Music, and she's actually going to conduct meditation. It's been so wonderful to have two excellent student conductors. It allows me to fiddle with the technical apparatus, which is quite a learning curve, making everything sort of run smoothly. So I so appreciate it, and they're doing a fabulous job. So Giselle, just any thoughts about your experience from your perspective, learning to do this, what it was like, and you have a conductor's as well as singer's perspective.
Yeah, so I remember getting that first email, and I think it was August, of saying that with live singing, and I just remember thinking, like, how in the world are we going to pull this off? And at first it was a little rocky. You know, we were trying to readjust our minds. We're so used to, you know, listening to the person next to us, and as a conductor, just reading. And the first few rehearsals were just a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of collaborating, and a whole lot of patience. But the end product is worth it, and it's so gratifying to hear what we sound like live, because we've been kind of craving that live singing so much since we haven't been since March. And especially as a senior, it's very bittersweet to be here. This is my last performance at ACSM, so it is very big, but I am very proud and very just grateful to be able to live sing with everyone. So yeah.
Great. Thank you, Giselle. And I can see by the video and audio not quite matching up, we've got some lag things going on, but we can hear each other, so we'll just keep moving. Thank you so much. Now I'm just going to invite
It's okay, we work through the lag.
Yes, we work through the lag. So Karen, so before we talk a little bit about meditation, if anyone has questions for Karen, please feel free to type them in the chat or anything about live online singing. This piece, I attended a workshop that Karen gave online with a couple other people this summer, and it inspired me to join this commission consortium. A number of different choirs combined to commission this piece, among them the Yale Glee Club, Hofstra University, Wheaton College Women's Choir, Caldwell University Choral. Those were the primary ones, along with Queens College Vocal Ensemble. So it's been a wonderful process. So Karen, the text of this piece is particularly beautiful. If you want to talk about, Karen wrote the text. I'd love for you to read it if you like, or talk about it, or tell us about your process in any way that feels.
Yeah. So let me start by telling you a little bit about the form. The form of meditation follows a journey from chaos to calm, mirroring the experience of meditating in a time of distress. And like here, it's largely aleatoric, but this time a melody can be clearly heard in the solo. The text for meditation is an original poem that I wrote as I struggled to adjust to the crazy new normal of this world we're in right now. The text acknowledges the challenge of this time, but focuses on finding a way forward. My hope was that it would be a balm for singers in this hard time. I'm very pleased to have heard feedback that singers did find it helpful, and do find it helpful, as many of the choirs are just starting to work on it now. It's also inspired by a meditation that was shared with me by Lori Goldstein-Padron. So that's the basic about meditation. I just really want to thank Jim and the Queens College Vocal Ensemble for being so willing to experiment with me and figure out how to use this platform. It's taken a lot of patience, and it's a steep learning curve, and you've just done fantastic. A lot of hard work and great musicianship.
Well, thank you so much, Karen. And as I said, you helped us so much learning this process. But I want to say one of the things I love about meditation is the way you've painted your text, that it really gives the impression of like the monkey mind, the jumping around. You can't calm it, and it's you're sort of trying to master it, and then so it starts out with a fortissimo, and then by the end you've kind of reached that space of calm, and it ends in a very beautiful major third. Do you have experience with meditation yourself? Did you reach into your experience and write the text? How do you? I'm just curious.
I didn't much before this pandemic.
Yes. Well, I know those of us with kids.
I've been trying to meditate more and more. So
yes, I hear you. In terms of yes.
My routine now is that I just 10 minutes of quiet time before I have to get started with their day. And I go outside, even though it's getting pretty cold now. I bring a blanket and I wear my my coat, and I sit outside for 10 minutes to just kind of try to clear my thoughts. I can't say I'm always successful my thoughts, but in general, the experience of trying is at least helpful. I did say I would share the text with you.
Yes.
So let me read the poem now. May I still my mind, may I open my heart, may I be slow to anger, to forgive. May I slow my pace, may I stop to breathe, may I hold my child a minute longer. May I live each day, may I learn to wait, may I come to terms with uncertainty. May I smell, may I hear the birds, may I feel the warmth of the sunshine.
Thank you so much. And with that, let us go into the performance. So Vocal Ensemble, you can turn your videos on. Thank you so much, Karen.
I open my May I be slow to anger and quick to May I slow my May I stop to breathe. May I hold my child
Thank you so much. Giselle, take a bow. And Christine, take a bow. Christine Papania, our soprano soloist. Karen, I'd like to bring you back for another thank you. It's really been great, and we look forward to carrying the meaning of this piece further into our lives as we proceed to whatever the next phase is. So thank you for joining us. Vocal Ensemble, thank you. It's been terrific working with you. And I'll say goodnight to Vocal Ensemble and to Karen, and we'll move on to the final part of our program, 1001 Voices. Thank you so much. Okay, so we've come to the final part of our program, and that is just a note. I can hear you on clean feed still, Vocal Ensemble. So you wanna exit clean feed, okay? We're using one program. If you're out there, we're using one program for audio and one program for video. That's sometimes why you see a big lag between our voices and our sound. Sometimes they don't always coordinate. So 1001 Voices, the other virtual choir video project we did with Choral Society and Vocal Ensemble together. I wanted to give you a little background, and then I have a short interview with the creators of the piece, and then we have our video. So this piece really dates back 10 or 12 years ago, and maybe the very origin of it perhaps grew out of a wonderful book that Judith Sloan wrote called Crossing the Boulevard. It's about the different neighborhoods in Queens and the wonderful multi-ethnic cultures we find in probably one of the most diverse places on earth. It has wonderful artwork by Warren Lehrer. It's just a beautiful, beautiful book. If you live in Queens, you'll want to check it out. In any case, I think that Konstantin Katsopoulos, if I'm getting the story right, may have found this book, and he decided he wanted to create a piece that was representative of the different cultures in Queens, and I think contacted Judith Sloan and Frank London, wonderful trumpet player from the Klezmatics, to write the music. They paired up and wrote a 40-minute multimedia piece together with Warren Lehrer, who did the visual projections. And Konstantin came to me in 2010 probably and said, hey, I have this great piece. Do you want to, could we use your chorus for the premiere? And I said, hey, sure, it sounds great. So it came to fruition in 2012. Konstantin directed it with the Queen's Symphony. The QC Choral Society and Vocal Ensemble were the chorus. And then we revived it, the piece again, re-orchestrated it, and revived it in 2017 for a performance in December of 2017. So it's a piece, again, in the 80th anniversary year of the Choral Society that has deep connections and meaning for the group, for all of us who live in Queens, particularly. So I must say the first time the piece was premiered, the title was 1001 Voices, a Symphony for Queens. Subsequently, the title was revised to 1001 Voices, a Symphony for a New America. And that's an important point because the piece has a universality about it. Judith's words are quite moving. Frank's music is very powerful. And a piece that you won't see in the video that I'm going to play you is that Judith was reading the Arabian Nights at the time the piece was commissioned, and she was ruminating on the ways that stories keep us alive, which inspired the structural conceit, 1001 Voices. And Judith wrote, like Scheherazade, artists keep the story going, and by keeping the story going, they keep our lives going. And sometimes all we have left after we've lost everything is the story. So I'll play this video with the creators. Actually, Warren is not pictured here, but you'll hear from Judith Sloan talking about the text, and then you'll hear from Frank London, the composer, talking about the music, and then you'll hear our video of the final anthem from 1001 Voices, a Symphony for a New America, and that will be the conclusion of the evening. It's been delightful to be your host. I want to thank everybody, everyone involved, Choral Society, Vocal Ensemble, Treble Choir, and my colleague, Dr. Eric Rubinstein, who is just terrific to work with in all ways. So, see you soon. Here we go.
At the time that I was writing it, it was post the subprime collapse of the mortgages, and people were losing their homes. And there was in Queens and in the Bronx, there are two areas that are considered asthma alleys. So the idea that we're like breathing and unable to breathe, and what that means. To think about this literally like an alternative anthem to the Star Spangled Banner. I worked with people who were from Bosnia and who were from Croatia, and people who were at war with each other. And then here we were in New York working together. So that was this incredible, joyful, hopeful kind of feeling, you know, that everybody can come to my table and eat even though we were at war. And that was kind of like a fantasy of the future of America. And at the time in 2012, when we first premiered it, it was before DACA, but like any poetic piece, it could mean whatever it means right now. And so now it has much different meaning. And at times it's like incredibly painful. This idea of sons and fathers together alone, you know, the sort of more common path of migration is that a lot of men come first and bring one child, and then they bring the mother and the other family members. That's just really common. And after the subprime market mortgage crisis, a lot of people were tossed out the door and their houses were foreclosed on. And in the most sort of stable African-American homeowner area of Queens, in Hollis and in a couple of other neighborhoods, a lot of Black Americans were foreclosed on that got snookered into that subprime market. So that kind of has that history in it about mothers foreclosed on, tossed out the door. And then this idea of breathing, you know, and here we are in the United States where we're constantly consuming, but the idea of yearning to breathe now has different meaning after George Floyd, after, you know, the I can't breathe, after COVID, you know, this idea that we are yearning to breathe. And then the other words that I just wanted to let you know about, just for reference, this "here everybody has a shout deep inside them" is a reference to shout songs and slave narratives and slave songs. And then so that it's not just about immigration, it's about all of us here in the many ways that people were either forced here and then using song and using music as defiance, as a way to reclaim, you know, a world. And then I got to this part about the nightmares, that we're in a kind of a world now where there's a cultural ear for trauma, where there may not have been a cultural ear for trauma, so that you can actually express a nightmare, and that things are deep inside even the national conversation right now too, about the nightmares that the United States has created, to not ignore that. And of course, this whole thing about the kings and queens stole the truth in the night. If you see the image, the knights has a K in it, because I was thinking about the chessboard and that idea of, well, we're not pawns and we're able to be fighters, and we can, you know, we're restless about that. And so that idea that we've all got these voices and we're going to keep the stories alive, and no matter what happens. And of course, right now in this political moment, it all means something else and something more. And I hope that that's something that poetry can do, that you can interpret it however you want to, but it also has a sense of, inside the pain and the sadness and the sorrow, a tremendous amount of defiance and embracing love and joy for even the most difficult conversations that we have to have.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited about the piece continuing, as Judith said, in these times when it takes on yet again new meaning. I mean, so it's like a prayer, and we're so thankful to all of you to be participating. This is a piece which has so much heart, and it's got so much meaning. It references so much history and so much of struggle, and it kind of, I learned so much doing it. But the part that we're singing together is, it's the culmination. It takes everything that came before it and it brings it all together, and it's universal and it's anthemic. And I tried my darndest to write something that's very singable, that you really want to sing, and that people want to sing and sing out loud. And the words, they come out and they have so much meaning, and they can come from inside of all of us. For me, composing, sometimes it's really difficult and I struggle over every note, and it takes hours and days to write 3 measures of music and kill myself. And sometimes things flow and fly out. And this ending section flew out so naturally and so quickly that I was scared that I had actually stolen it from something else, because it was as if it existed already before I wrote it, you know? And I did check with a lot of people. I say, can you listen to this and tell me if I'm stealing from something really obvious that everyone knows? Even though we're doing it as a standalone, sing it with the full energy from the very first note, with all the fullness that says, we just heard the entire story for an hour, and here's the whole point, and here's the culmination and the jubilation and the liberation. And just start with that joy and ecstasy and fullness from the very beginning.